welcome. And welcome to another episode of the V Show with PA, Patrick Austin. And today, I want to thank y'all for viewing. It's been a good ride thus far, and it continues today. Last week, we had Coach Smith on, and he gave us a lot to digest, and seeing Valley over the years and where his heart is and legacy, and we've had other guests as well. And, our whole thing is to inform our viewers of what it will take to fully fund athletics at MVSU, and also give you a taste of what people around MVSU are saying, have been, and been a part of. This week's guest is none other than, they call him Cream now. I don't know if that's coffee with a little cream, or, is he sweet like that with it, with his moves on the field. But he is none other than a Valley alum, Hubert Owens, former SEC lead official, and he's also the president of the VClub, and he is MVSU alum, as I stated before. But before we get into that, I want to thank our partners, Skelly Furniture, Vogue Furnishing, Capital City Automotive, GNC Mangino Family Stores, Visit Jackson, the MVSU NAA, Capital City Beverages. You guys are the people that keep us going, so we thank you, and we're looking to add on to that. We got a few coming up next week, and hopefully we can make those partnerships last. And listen, continue to flood the inbox, my email, with opportunities that are out there. Our number's out there. The website is out there, www.mvsuvclub.com. All right, so without further ado, I want to introduce to you our president of the MVSU VClub, SEC referee extraordinaire, MVSU alum, Hubert Owens. How you doing, brother?
I'm doing well, Patrick. Thank you for having me. How are you today?
Man, no, thank you for having me, and I appreciate you, man. Look, I appreciate you. When I came to you with the VClub idea, and it was like, okay, I done seen a lot of stuff going on, man, but, I'm a little hesitant on how people are going to react and respond, man, but you took the chance, and I appreciate that. Absolutely. And everybody viewing, I want y'all to know how grateful I am to him for being a part of this thing, man.
So hey, no doubt, Patrick. We have to start to make the change at some point, and someone has to take the bull by the horn, and I was just too glad to step in and help you out in any way that I possibly can. No doubt about that.
Man, so look, I appreciate you. We're gonna go ahead and get started because we don't want to hold you too long. I know you got your regular job. You oversee some stuff. You sub in for some stuff. You counsel. Right. So look, I don't want to hold too much of your time up. But for those that don't know, man, Valley put out some wonderful people, and you're one of them that works in the sports realm. Tell us a little bit about your background, besides the fluff stuff of being from Yazoo City, which is the foot of the Delta. Tell us a little bit about you and your background.
Okay, well, as you mentioned, I'm from Yazoo City. I graduated from Yazoo City High School. I came to Valley in 1976 on a football scholarship. During that time, I was recruited by Coach Davis Weathersby, which was a great coach out of Greenville, Mississippi. Coach Weathersby still kicking with us now. But I came to Valley as a defensive back, 1976. Was there from 1976 to 1981. Of course, during that time, we were redshirted as freshmen unless you were super with Jerry Rice or somebody. But that was a great benefit to us in giving us an opportunity to grow, understand the college life, understand what college football was like. Because as athletes, we all think that we can do what we see other people doing on TV and at the next level. And it's really an adjustment period to make that transition. I mean, you need some growing, you need some nurturing, you need to understand what the college football game is all about. And so that helped me a great deal. I was fortunate enough to have a great career, played alongside some great athletes during that tenure in the secondary. I was fortunate enough to make some all-conference teams, and just proud that I was associated with the Valley. Spent time at the Valley. I grew up in a football background. My father, many of you don't know, some of you do, but many of you don't know, was an official, and I kind of knew that I wanted to kind of go down that path after the playing days was over. Just glad to be a part of it. Football has been a part of my life since I can ever remember. His best friend, Coach Peter Boston, was a head coach in Yazoo City. So we were running around as little kids around all the high school football teams and football players. And so it's in me, it's in my blood, it's in my DNA, and I wouldn't have it any other way.
Look, and here's what's funny about that. It's so many, athletics get a knock about being jocks or whatever the case may be, but people don't understand there's so many careers outside of just, playing on the field and beyond coaching. And you got medical staff, you got announcers, you have, officials like you have been yourself. And one thing that, what we can let the viewers know, you and I crossed paths a multitude of times before even knowing that both of us were Valley alums.
Absolutely.
You used to call our games. Yeah, you used to call our games. You come to practices as y'all prepping up for the season. And call our scrimmages, and we just, me being polite. Hey, man, how you doing? Had no clue, man. But
exactly.
I'm so thankful that we're at this point.
And Pat, you touched on a great thing, that there's so many opportunities in athletics and sports outside of the playing field. And a lot of times we're not exposed to those opportunities. I mean, nobody thought about, a lot of athletes don't think about being officials. They don't think about being athletic directors. They don't think about being marketing people. They don't think about the being behind the scenes in operations. There's an abundance of opportunities outside of playing. I mean, I know we all grew up wanting to be professional athletes. That's the dream. But if you prepare yourself, if you get your degree, you apply yourself, there are a number of opportunities off the playing field that young men and young women can have successful careers at. And so I encourage the young people who may be watching this podcast or maybe watching this production to explore some of the opportunities. I mean, because you don't make it as a professional athlete, there are other avenues that you can affect change outside of being on the field. So as an athlete.
Man, and that's important for other people to know. And then here's with you being an SEC official, you have been around, just from experience, have been around some amazing environments. Can you tell us a little bit about some of the ones that was most memorable? Now, I got one because I sent you a video of it a little while back. You had a controversial call. Tell us about some of those moments that you've been in athletic environments you've been around as an SEC official.
Well, as an SEC official, I mean, there were a number of opportunities. I mean, because every football game in the SEC, there's an opportunity to have something spectacular to happen. I mean, athletes are tremendous athletes, but probably the one that really stands out with me the most is we were down at Auburn. Auburn was playing LSU, and I can't remember the year. It might have been 2016, 2017. And it went down to the wire. LSU was driving with just a few seconds left in the football game. They threw a pass, scored a touchdown, and it appeared that they won the football game. Well, with the advent of replay took a look at it and determined that LSU did not get the snap off prior to the clock expiring. And so I had the task of going on national TV and announcing that, after further review, it was determined that LSU did not get the snap off prior to the clock expiring. The touchdown is no good. Therefore, Auburn wins the football game. And so that was really one of the memorable moments that I had.
I'm surprised Coach O would take his shirt off and throw it at you.
Well, at that point, it was Coach Miles, unfortunately.
Okay, that was Coach Miles. That was on telling him.
And again, unfortunately, that happened to be Coach Miles' last game at LSU.
But
that was a memorable situation. I mean, it was one of those situations where it was a tight football game, and you had to bite the dust, and I had to step out and make the announcement. It is what it is, So.
And it's amazing that how electric that environment was, even when folks are watching on TV. And it's hard to describe, but it's so much that goes into a game day environment. And I know that's something that we'll touch on next week with our guests. But because the band plays a big part of that, but also you got DJs, you got lighting, you got what they call activations in between, timeouts and different things, the award ceremonies, and it's so much that. Right. It's so much that we can do to enhance ours, whether that's with a digital video board or executive style seating. You told us about your time at Valley, and you told us a little bit about the things you've done in your career. let's talk about what Valley means to you and some of the things that you're doing with the V Club to assist us in moving forward and being that catalyst for change.
Absolutely. Well, without Valley, without a doubt, I wouldn't be where I am today.
Right.
I was fortunate enough to obtain a degree in business administration. I was able to work in my field with the city of Atlanta for over 20 years. I headed up the Office of Contract Compliance for the city of Atlanta, which ensures that minority, women, and female-owned firms have an opportunity to participate on contracts, construction or professional services contracts with the city of Atlanta, and make sure that we bolster the economic status of minority and women-owned companies in the Atlanta region. So without that degree from Valley, that first and foremost, I would not have been in a position to capitalize on that opportunity. But Valley nurtured me. We had staff, we had faculty, even students. Everybody was a family at that time, and it still is. If you get what Valley has to offer, you can go to the next level, no matter what your field or what your endeavor is. But what we're trying to do with the V Club is even enhance that further. We're looking to promote and to raise funds to support all of athletics with our scholarships, with the fan experience in the stadiums, in the arenas, basketball arenas, at the baseball diamond. I mean, we really have to take this thing to another level. Universities all around us are doing things that enhance their athletic programs. And it's been a known fact over the years, and this is nothing new. I mean, we don't recreate the wheel. I mean, the model is there. Athletics plays a great role in supporting the university as far as student enrollment, enthusiasm. I mean, people want to be associated with winners, or they want to be associated with schools that are competitive. I mean, kids go back to their hometowns. I mean, they want to have something to talk about. But so we're trying to enhance that student experience. The video boards that you mentioned as a major part of it. We're talking about Touchdown for Turf, which will enhance the football stadium. Rice Cotton Stadium. That's a great venue. But we need to make it better so that athletes will feel that they are coming to the next level, that they're stepping up from what they already had in high school.
Right.
So we're encouraging everybody to kind of be a part of the V Club, to donate whatever they can. But definitely the Valley, without the Valley, we would not. I wouldn't be here, and you wouldn't be where you are today.
Oh, absolutely, man. Look, the Valley is a part of me, and I tell people all the time, what's tough for me at times is to see, when you're on campus and look at, some of the interaction with the kids that are there love it. Oh, yeah. But it's some of the amenities and, how many people that were there when we were there, and all of us have such fond memories, and it's such a warm place. And we want others to share that, but it's hard to get them there. And I know that, we take a hit sometimes because we're taking it from a sports angle. But I'm gonna tell you two things. Like Elizabeth City, their university is growing, and they're small, and they're in a rural area that flooded and do a whole lot of things. But they use athletics to grow their enrollment. Just last week, there was a game in the capital city of Mississippi. And the economic impact for that one game, true enough, it was a homecoming, was $5 million for the city. And that doesn't incorporate the Flowood, the Clinton, and the other areas. And so I'm thinking, and it is in my heart, I can see it, the vision is extremely clear. We can continue to be that in the Delta as well, but we have to, get members of our community in the legislature, the politicians, the other high schools and the counties and the rural communities and the board supervisors to all get on board, because if we all push this thing, we can all make this grow. We are the largest employer of LaFleur County. So if Valley dies, it's a lot of things that die with it.
It affects economic base in LaFleur County. Absolutely.
Exactly. And so with that being said, whether it's partnerships with Harlow's, Viking, Dollar General and their distribution center, Cannon Motors, we have to bring all of these the Greenwood Chamber of Commerce. We have to bring all of these individuals and collective groups to the table in order to help us achieve. We got to get the enrollment numbers up. And, from my perspective and where I stand, I think athletics is just a catalyst to do that because it's flashy, it's shiny. We can make some things enjoyable, by adding the DJ at the game or, shouting out high schools when they come, making it, fun for them. Like I said,
but I think that the next step to doing that is to be competitive.
Yes.
With our teams, people will come, but you have to have a product on the field, and that's what we're about in the V Club, is assisting the administration in any way that we can to try to enhance and grow the number of scholarships that we have, so that we can be competitive. I mean, I remember, now we never won championships, SWAC championships when I was playing, but I can remember the excitement and the electricity that was around the football team and the basketball team. You had people like, Charles Wade and Watson and different people on the basketball team. You had Parnell before I got there, Melvin and Don Doden. We had just an array of athletes that came through there. Phil Don, Sam Washington, Clyde Rash. I mean, William Brown, Wally Wright. I mean, I could name the name. Jim Sankfield. I could name, Gator Kennard. I mean, I could go naming different.
You can name them till the cows come home.
I could continue to name it. I'm going to. I'll probably leave somebody out on the fence about it, but please don't charge it to my heart, charge it to my head. But
right.
I can remember when people were standing around the sideline. I mean, we couldn't get to the field because and it was a small venue. Don't get me wrong, but the excitement was there. And that's what I want to see happen again. I mean, my senior year, we didn't play a game on campus because they were constructing the stadium as it is today.
Right.
We had to play in Greenwood and Greenville.
Gotcha.
But when we walked on the field, we were respected. That's just during my era. Of course, that I believe every era feeds into the next era. So what Parnell and his group and Warhorse and the Red Devil inside, I can remember when Valley had the middle linebacker for Valley wore a red helmet. He distinguished himself, he was called the Red Devil, Russell Porter and those guys. I mean, I'm going back, Arcelius Townsend, those guys laid the foundation for us. We carried it on, the people that I named, and the next thing Coach the Gunslinger came in, and there was Rice and Todd and DeBarton Laban and Joe Thomas and those guys. They carried to another level. You know what I mean? So we got to get back to where we all feed into it. But if you don't have a foundation to feed into, nobody else is going to want to come and carry that tradition on. See, I don't think everybody really understands the tradition and where we came from. The young kids that are there now. Because all I've ever seen Valley do was just be mediocre. We haven't always been mediocre on the field, and we certainly haven't been mediocre in the classroom and as far as academics are concerned. I mean, we have people scattered across this country doing great things with NASA and AT&T and in the technology industry, in the classrooms. I mean, man, Valley's a great place. That's all I can say. It's a great place. And I need to step up and continue to try to support the young people that are there now.
And look, and I can tell you this, and this is just, me speaking. I remember, and this is even basketball, but even during our football games, right? They would bring bleachers in and put them along the track for the bands to set up in.
Right.
Because, it was just packed like that.
It was packed like that. Yeah.
And then for the basketball games, now I know the gym ain't constructing the way it is now, but if you didn't show up midway through the girls' game,
you want to get
family room only, and they might not let you in.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And
that's true.
I love that about that, and it was just like family was home, and it can still be that, and I want others, just like you said, I want the next generation, and I got a daughter. I want her to be at a point where she's saying, hey, I want to go to Valley because I want to see what my dad and my granddad and my grandmama and my aunts and uncle, all of them experience at Valley.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
I'm saying that to say this, man. I think together we can do it, and I appreciate you, and your time, your wisdom, your belief in me to continue to push me,
right,
as we try to move this thing forward. and we're gonna continue to work at it. Any closing words for our supporters before we let you go?
Absolutely. I want to encourage everybody to go on the website to view the V Club, the amenities that you are afforded as being a member of the V Club. I mean, we have to start. We have to just start kicking this thing off and continuing and not continue to give lip service. I mean, sure, we're probably the youngest HBCU in the SWAC, but we have that foundation that we can grow on. So I want to make sure and encourage everybody to be a part of the V Club. Go on the website, Patrick. I'm sure you have it broadcasting under. Right there, it's scrolling underneath the screen right now. So go in, whatever you can contribute, please contribute, because I mean, we need to be able to get our athletics, all of our athletic teams, to a level where we can fully fund scholarships and we can really be competitive and ultimately win that SWAC championship in football. I know we've done some things in basketball over the years and so forth, and but I do want to make sure that everybody takes an opportunity to view what we're about, support us in any way that you can. We need your support, and so that we can continue to be the catalyst for change at Valley. Before I go, I do want to say hello to a very dear friend of Parnell's, Junior Lowe. I know he's been not doing well lately, but I ask at the Valley family to continue to pray for him, uplift him in prayer, and so that hopefully he can get better and he can get back to homecoming like he's been for the last 25 years with Parnell Smitty and their group. But listen, we love everybody out there. Go check out the V Club website, sign up at any way, whatever level you can, and support us, and so that we can continue to grow the Valley through athletics. It goes without saying that so goes athletics, so goes the university. Yeah, we've talked a lot about that with the president, the athletic director. I know academics is important. It is the critical thing because everybody's not going to make it in athletics. But that's going to draw your base in. That's going to draw your students in. That's going to be one component. It's a major component. So let's get behind the V Club. Let's get behind the V Club and our athletics, and let's start to turn this thing around.
Brother Owens, we thank you for your time, man.
Hey, Pat, I got one more question. I just happen to have one of my teammates here. I just want Phil to say hello. Hey, Phil.
Look, that's lifelong relationships, baby.
Lifelong relationships, Phil.
Lifelong relationships.
Come on in and say hello to people. Phil Dawes with
How you doing? How you doing?
Just say hello.
What's up, brother?
What's going on?
So, listen, man. Look, lifelong relationships, man.
Lifelong relationships. That's what we do.
Relationships.
Well, we 40 years or something. I forgot how long. It's deep in it.
It's been a long time.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
Well, Patrick, man, thank you for your time, man. And
thank you.
We're going to continue to encourage. We're going to recruit, and we're going to start to be that catalyst.
Thank you, Brother Owens.
Appreciate
you. Have a good evening.
It was a pleasure meeting you guys. Peace. Okay.
Thank you. That was Brother Owens, Hubert Owens, chairperson, president of the V Club. You heard it from him. We're not saying that athletics is the end all be all, but we do understand that between athletics and the band, for our culture, we can definitely grow. Okay. And please understand that this is the first at this university. We've had or athletic committees as a part of the university's foundation, but we've never had a true athletic foundation specifically for athletics and the growth of athletics, and giving the athletic director flexibility to do and maneuver certain things outside of typical employment. Meaning, inside of an agreement with the V Club, bonuses can be had, or tenure can be done with increases in salaries for staff members. There's things that we can do and maneuver with all types of capabilities and flexibilities when you have the finances to do it. I keep telling it, and I'll say it till the cows come home. Funding is relative. $5 million could change the trajectory of our university. And there's somebody out here watching that knows somebody that has the ability to pull that trigger. And if it's not all in one whop, it could be just a piece of it. Every little bit matters. I implore you and express to you, please go visit our website and give what you can. Whatever it may be, it would all be positive to go toward us being the catalyst for change. That website is www.mvsu.vclub.com. Want to thank our supporters again and our partners. That's Vogue Furnishing, Capital City Beverages, Muskelly Furniture, GNC Mangino Stores, Capital City Automotive, the MVSU NAA, and Visit Jackson. Until next week, thank you for your time. Let's go Valley.